Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Fundraising is a challenge at most times for nonprofit organizations, and the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation is quite a hill to climb. The spotlight will shine on Swift Current March 19th through the 27th, as the Ford World Women's Curling Championship is hosted at the Credit Union Iplex. Following several months of on-site work at the new Cypress Point Subdivision, the city of Swift Current is now accepting bids on the 80 lots up for sale. Thanks for joining us here today. As fundraising continues for the Welcome Home campaign, Innovation Credit Union has stepped forward with a challenge. Fundraising is a challenge at most times for nonprofit organizations, and the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation is quite a hill to climb as it strives to raise $8 million to furnish and equip Swift Current's new long-term care facility. To date, generous donations have come through from various estates and other donors to help cover 8 of the 22 homes set to open this summer. Innovation Credit Union has now stepped forward with a donation challenge, saying it will match any other banking or related business's donation to a maximum of $250,000. A challenge which Innovation CEO Daniel Johnson says falls in line with their mandate of giving back to the communities they serve.
The challenge was, in my view, more of an awareness. A lot of times we step to the plate in a lot of different community functions or events or gifts, and sometimes we're the only financial institution, at the table. So we felt that it was time for, not just the other financial services, but the wealth service companies, the insurance companies to step forward and have a nice, healthy competition to make sure that we're doing our part to be a good corporate citizen.
Welcome news for the Health Foundation, as it hopes Innovation's lead will now spur others in the community to step forward for the Welcome Home campaign.
The 2-for-1 donation thing is something that's played well for us in the past and other registered charities around the province. Most recently, I know the Potash Corporation did this with the food bank, and it spurs sort of a 2-for-1 thing, and we're hoping it has a similar effect here in the city if the other financial institutions and planners and so on can get together and we're thinking about making a contribution. Maybe they make it a little bit higher because it does become a 2-for-1 donation.
Swift Current's new 225-bed long-term care facility is set to open later this summer, with the Health Foundation hoping that its residents will be welcomed with a good portion of new equipment and furnishings, as requested by the Cypress Health Region.
That $8 million was an estimate right up front, and I think as they start to do their actual shopping, I suspect they'll find some deals. I know that all of a sudden I think it's 239 TV sets or something that they need, and when they go to a supplier and say, hey, I need 239 TV sets, I don't think they're going to pay full retail, and I think they did their estimates based on that, and they'd have to at that point in time. So it's now a matter of, I think with some sharpening of pencils and so on, that $8 million number might have and probably has crept down just a little bit. Plus, they'll be using some of the existing equipment. There is the new facility, of course, is replacing the 3 existing facilities, and there is some equipment there that can be transferred across.
Any inquiries or donations for the Welcome Home campaign can all be directed to the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation in Swift Current.
The last loads were just leaving as the first loads were coming back. It's awesome! Awesome! It's huge! Biggest I've ever seen.
The countdown is on to the Ford World Women's Curling Championship in Swift Current. And in this report, we take a look at what's been going on behind the scenes. The spotlight will shine on Swift Current March 19th through the 27th, as the Ford World Women's Curling Championship is hosted at the Credit Union Iplex. 12 of the top women's teams will hit the ice vying for the 2016 World Championship title. Kelly Schaefer is a former team member for Scotland and now calls Swift Current home. And in this championship will take on the role as facilities chair, and says the local organizing committee is ready to host another great event.
2010 really set the scene for world curling here, and there was such an excitement from the community and everybody that was involved. And I guess this time around we're really lucky to have had a great committee last time around that have shown us or led the way in what we maybe could be doing, should be doing this time around. So the scene was set, the legacy has kind of continued, and we're happy to build on that.
And with 480 volunteers in place, many of whom were part of the 2010 championship, the stage is set in Swift Current. And now the fans need to get their tickets and cheer on their favorite team.
This type of event, honestly, is one of the best experiences you could be a part of, whether you're a fan, whether you're even knowledgeable about curling. You don't have to play it, you don't have to know anything about it. To be in an arena with so many fans cheering on many different countries in the world, like it's something that you have to come and experience to understand why you'll come back again and again and again. And if nothing else, it's an opportunity to find out what the patch and entertainment is all about in there too, where everybody gets together, has a great time, and it's a celebration of curling all around, whether you know the game or whether you don't.
And when asked who she'll be cheering on in the stands if Scotland and Canada are out on the ice, Schaefer had these comments.
I think for me, Scotland will be my number one pick. It's Scotland's in my heart, and playing and being a part of that country for, that's been my life. And absolutely, I'm 100% behind the team. But Canada is my new home now, and it's important that I show support for them too. And it's great that these two nations are almost the best in the world of what we have, or curling has to offer. So I know it'll be a good rivalry either way.
Over 30,000 fans are expected to pass through the doors of the iPlex over the 9 days of the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Tickets are still available online at curling.ca. The final details are now in place, and the city of Swift Current is now accepting bids for lots in the new Cypress Point Subdivision. Following several months of on-site work at the new Cypress Point Subdivision and a number of housekeeping details, including bylaws and subdividing of the various parcels of land, the city of Swift Current is now accepting bids on the 80 lots up for sale. The process will begin with bidding on lots 23 through 51, which have created the most interest from potential buyers.
Most popular lots, I guess, are being auctioned off first so that everyone has a fair chance at getting, in that range of lots that they were looking for. And in the lot sales package on the city's website, all of those prices are listed there. So for the bidding process for those select lots, you would need to submit a reserve bid matching the one listed on in that lot sales package. Would encourage people to maybe bid a little bit more to make sure that they get the lot that they want.
Roos further adds that individuals buying a lot in the new Cypress Point subdivision will have to follow certain architectural guidelines, from the type of siding, fencing, to a garage, keeping an overall symmetrical look to the area. And as far as a start date for new home construction, Roos says work could begin in the next few months.
So we're hoping this spring everyone will be able to start building. Now, the back half of that cul-de-sac needs to be finished off in terms of the infrastructure side of things, the roads, the sidewalk, and things of that nature. But we're looking at spring and summer development as soon as the lots are sold.
More details on the bidding process and all lots available in the new Cypress Point subdivision are all available through the city's website. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.